Hey guys, and welcome back to FACEIT TV. I'm MVC, joined by DDK for the grand final of the Spring Sunday Cup number 4. It is Ash going up against Cypher on maps that are currently being decided. But what a match have we got here today, DDK? No Evil. It's going to be Cypher against Ash, a final that I don't think I've seen for as long as I can remember. Have we seen a final, Ash versus Cypher, before?
I'm not sure we've seen a final like this, but we've seen loads of semis with Ash and Cypher. It's happened quite a lot. Of course, you know, Ash has taken him down before, but it's much more often for Cypher to actually win against Ash, of course, as you'd expect. And they're just selecting the maps right now, and we can see that Cypher's first order of business was to remove Delirium. Bastard. And
no one wants us to cuss it.
Take out Lost World.
Like,
yeah, I'm really sad about that.
Bring back Noctis. Where was Noctis today? Somebody find him. Go to Australia, because he's clearly not from Austria. Find him and, yeah. Throng him. I think that's what they refer to in A Knight's Tale. Thronging. I don't know. But, yeah, regardless. Here we go. Maps are being picked anyway. I'm going to bring this up. So, Cypher takes Cure. Ash takes Sinister. I haven't even got this written down yet. Ash. Yes, Cypher.
Yeah, so Cure, Sinister, Blooder, and Toxicity. It's going to be quite interesting because this is Cure is basically the map of Ash, but also oftentimes the map of Cypher. It's the map he looks to defeat Evil on. You know, Lost World was also a map that Cypher often chooses as his choice to take down players like Evil. But it's usually Cure and Lost World which are the ones that Cypher takes these days, and it's not so far from the truth for Ash as well. Ash does like a lot of Cure, but he's also a guy that's going to be, you know, in for those faster maps like Toxicity. That's a bit of a strength of his as well, and we saw that previously. You know, he took down Pavel there. After Pavel got a really good start, but I feel like Ash, you know, really showed his experience there. But either way, I think this is going to be... I've got a feeling we're going to see a 3-0 sweep from Cypher. I don't know why, but I feel like Ash isn't going to be able to really contend with him today. Don't know what it is, but that's my gut feeling on the matter.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see moving forward. I mean, Ash definitely has within him the ability to frag Cypher multiple times. The question is, he's got to do it for 10 minutes straight. And Cypher is no stranger. It doesn't matter what way you look at it. He's no stranger to both LAN and online grand finals. The guy has more experience than almost anybody. Since I think before Quake Live, when people went back after Quake 4 to Q3 CPMA, Cypher was absolutely stomping everybody. That was when Lightning and everybody was hitting like 50% LG at that point. And nowadays you have the slight changes to the hitboxes which reduce the accuracy a little bit. I believe they went hexagonal rather than whatever they were before, which meant that shooting people on angles was no longer yeah, it's all kind of equal now. Before it used to be a lot easier to hit somebody straight than it was at the angle. But yeah, regardless, we're in a good place with Quake Live now, and I mean, I hope we can see Ash take him down. But like I say, if I think it's going to be a 3-0 sweep, then well, let's hope otherwise. But we'll let them know where to go.
There's Sinister and Blood Run after this, and I mean, we've seen it's so tough to call this. I'm trying to find where there can be an edge for Ash, but I feel like if Ash can't win the first 2 maps, it's gonna get pretty hard for him. Of course, he does have Toxicity as the 4th map to fall back onto, but it's not like Cypher's a push over there either. I mean, Cypher's able to take down Rafa there, you know, on LAN. You know, Cypher is pretty damn good there as well, and not to mention how strong he is on Blood Run. I just feel like the ship is, you know, airtight for Cypher, and that Ash is not going to be able to find a way in.
Yeah, but I mean, if you go by ESR, Cypher changing his setup is the worst thing in the world. So if that's the case, maybe Ash can out-aim him in certain situations. We'll see how he does. Cypher certainly didn't have any problems railing earlier on in his matches that we saw. So against Madball it was on Bloodrun and Sinister. So we'll see if he can pull that out yet again here against Ash. But people thought I was doing my nails or checking my email when you were talking. Now I'm actually just writing on my list of notes, so I don't screw up again. It's always good to have notes.
Yeah, notes save lives.
Yeah. The only thing you can't get from notes is how to phonetically say somebody's name. It's the one benefit you get from being at events. Is that you can just go up to the person. Unless it's Evil, then you need someone like Nicer Dicer to translate for you to find out, you know, to find. Well, I mean, Evil's got an easy name, but you know. I don't think there's many other players apart from Evil that don't really speak English that I've seen at DreamHack before. Most Quick players are quite fluent in English, I think you would say.
It's only really usually the Russian players.
Yeah.
It's that's about it. Other than that, everyone's pretty good these days. And I mean, I think Ash is one of the Russian players that has the best English. I mean, of course, you know, Cypher over the years has, you know, he's not Russian, just to, you know, throw that out there. Of course, he's Belarusian, but he's of course got pretty good English. I mean, as you would expect, you know, he's been going to events since the Quake 4 days. That's when he started to rise. It was back when Quake 4 was in this, you know, the main circuit game. That's when Cypher and Avic, who were playing for Team, you know, Clan Sirius, Team Sirius, whatever, back in the days, they were coming up together, and I imagine that, you know, he's constantly put into that English-speaking environment, whereas the online environment these days is also very English-dominated in the Quake scene. So, but actually saying that, the Russian scene is kind of insular sometimes. But I digress. We're going live into the game. Cypher and Ash. This is the first map of the grand final, best of 5 here for the 4th Cup of the Spring season 2014 here at FACEIT, and Cypher this week going to be on that red as we have a fairly even split here on the map.
Yeah, I had to quickly just panic and change the overlay. I didn't actually do it. But yeah, watching Cypher at the moment, 106 to 137. And nice, he's going to be hitting the first damage. Not first blood just yet, but onto Ash with a very nice cheeky little railgun. Going to be forced back away here with some LG from Ash, though. Definitely, I mean, I kind of feel like this is what Ash needs to do. He needs to show his dominance early on, try not to give Cypher too much room to breathe. But at the same time, Cypher's just such an expert just playing the first-back game. We saw it earlier on, we're seeing it now. 1 HP, will even get away. No, unfortunately not Ash able to find the frag with a shotgun. He'll get the first one on the board, and not exactly the way I'd envision that going, to be honest. But yeah, a very early 1-0 lead.
So I feel like now it's all about how Cypher wants to play this. If he wants to play passively or not. I feel like Cypher could do really well against Ash by playing this position passively. But that said, you know, sometimes we see the really top players who are very confident against everyone, like Cypher and Evil. Sometimes they just go a bit aggressive, and it can put them in a really bad spot. And I'd love to see Cypher just stay cool, play passive, and just go super out of control straight away. And I think we're seeing that from him as well. And if Ash gets another frag, I'm going to be pretty surprised in the next like 2 minutes at least.
Yeah, no, certainly. Just again, I don't know what it is with the overlay. I'm just getting test and test rather than the player name. So again, I apologise. We'll just get on with the game and leave it for now. But yeah, I'm on Cypher's pop for the moment. As he has managed to stack up on quite a few items so far to his name.
And Ash, I feel like he's just playing the items. He doesn't know exactly how to get the best out of the situation. He's going to be pretty afraid that Cypher's built up a lot by this point because he hasn't done damage. And if you haven't been doing damage, you start to feel like your advantage is waning, because, you know, it is. The other player is getting more stack. He's going to be able to start taking fights, and that's kind of scary. You want to play on your terms all the time and not allow them to bring things to their turns. And that's what Cypher's slowly becoming able to do as we have this next red spawning. And this is a really key pickup for Ash. You put him, you know, back up to a very stacked position. And with the mega spawning, he's not going to want to go for it. And this teleporter play could be kind of interesting here. Actually, the Cypher's going to back away. I like how passive Cypher's playing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's early times in the game as well, so he can afford to do this and just deal damage when possible, because, I mean, it's Ash that's going to want to extend the lead. He knows that if he stays at 1-0, eventually Cypher could turn things around. I mean, look at the rockets from Cypher. Really good response, narrowly missing and actually going to crater. The rocket forces him downwards. Oh, that is so unlucky, but, I mean, that could have gone either way. Either way, I mean, this is reminiscent of watching Cypher play Lost World. He lost the game himself last week on Lost World. He went, I think, -2 at one point. But regardless, here we go. Cypher straight back in with the lightning gun. Could afford to stick around here. I believe the 50 HP might be behind him. Back, just going to force his way through the teleport. The pummel. Not going to find it, though. Ash with another frag on the board.
And that's a lot of damage done by Cypher. He might feel confident in making a challenge for the next red. We'll see how Cypher, you know, decides to approach this problem. The thing is, he doesn't have any armor. Of course, the yellow even going to Ash, and Cypher didn't get himself on any greens, so he's just got 15. So this is pretty tough. But the Mega's spawning too, so it all depends on how Ash positions himself as to what Cypher can get. So Ash, correctly going for both items there, and that was really smart, not trying to leave something up. And Cypher's in a pretty difficult position now, but again, he's just gonna do the Cypher thing and keep it real, just chill out as he gets the time on the yellow now. But Ash has got a very good cycle on all the items there. This is very dangerous for Cypher.
Yeah, very dangerous indeed. Just 100 to his name. The red's coming up. He doesn't even want to stick around there. He knows Ash is going to be trying to either set up a trap or just drop down and pick it up. And it's still not gone, actually. Cypher's aware. He can hear the spawns. And he knows exactly where Ash is waiting. Again, when he make the drive toward the Mega, looks like he wants to do it. Got to get out there quickly. Doesn't want to get caught out. Fantastic railgun. So much damage output there from Cypher.
Yeah, and that rail really saved him there, because that pushed Ash back in a position where Ash can just drop and kill him. So Cypher kind of hanging on by a thread, and Ash not able to do what he needs to do, and now Cypher's in a position where he's probably going to get this red and he will probably survive this encounter. But what the hell, where did that grenade even come from? Ash is going to take him down, and that's just one of those freak situations which neither player could even account for. But it shows you how useful the grenades can really be sometimes, even if you don't intend them to do as much as that. And Cypher going to be caught again with LG, and he's going to go down. He does a lot of damage before dying, but it's okay for Ash because there is the red.
Yep, nice and tasty for him. Switch around to Cypher. Again, 5 frag deficit now. We are approaching 4 minutes remaining. And again, it's next to nothing, but Ash has so much more than Cypher at this point. It's going to be Cypher that has to make the move. And again, just flopping the jump up on top. Just a few mistakes here and there from Cypher at the moment. So, Ash is waiting for him out the teleporter, the dive toward the Mega Health. He will steal it away. Brilliant LG damage from Cypher. Actually, he can gift himself the red armor here. He's got to be careful of the grenades. I think he's aware of it after the last exchange. And Ash backing away. This is it. There should be a frag here. 4-0.
Really nice by Cypher there. That was all because Ash put himself in a really good position at that tele exit by Mega to deal damage. He missed the key shots though. He went for a direct rocket that missed, and that was really the undoing of him, because then he was behind on everything, and Cypher eventually got the frag. So now Cypher, he can really make this comeback happen. And if Ash can win this map, Ash gets a real good chance in this grand final of actually taking out Cypher and winning it. Like, he needs this map so badly, because the other maps are just not going to come quite as easily as this could possibly come for Ash, I feel like.
Yeah, and Cypher's just trying to locate where exactly Ash is. He's not 100 HP just yet, so he has to be careful in the exchanges. Just trying to connect with the railgun down on toward Ash. Ash in position for this red at the moment. Cypher's not really going to be able to drop here. He can't afford to with the health he's got. He's going to have to give it away, and that's not really what he wants to do, because in comes Ash with that advantage. Down to 21 points of health. 3 minutes now remaining. Cypher forced to back away to the yellow. Still not at 100 HP. He's still got to be so careful where he takes this fight. And then Ash might just even come charging through.
Yeah, trying to defend this position. Cypher's doing a good job of it, and look at that, maintaining position, still hitting rockets, still doing damage. He's pretty low, but at the same time, he's still got good position to keep doing damage. And Ash is going to be able to steal away that red, but and Cypher will be the lower of the two players, but Cypher did pretty well out of that situation, and he's going to put himself in another position to hit more rails, 2 connected. This is looking really bad for Ash. All of a sudden picked up the 50 though, and that was the difference there to keep himself alive. And I feel like Cypher didn't account for that 50 there.
Yeah, you couldn't hear the pickup from Cypher, so I don't know if Cypher thought it might have already been gone, or just maybe he just didn't. Maybe he just thought he could get the frag anyway. I don't know, but 5-0 anyway now. Send it again, and time is running out now, and 3-0 suddenly looks like Ash might have that 1 map advantage here in the best of 5. But there is still time. Back onto Cypher as we watch him try and stack up and amount of something. The question is, he's going to be, where does he catch Ash out? Ash doesn't need to challenge Face. He can just back away constantly at this point.
But he's actually missing a lot of shots there. But so was Cypher. Cypher going in aggressive now, and had Ash hit those shots at the Mega, then he'd be in a fantastic position to win the game. Because he missed those shots, Cypher correctly read that he could just walk up to him and just take him out. And that's what happened. But now Cypher's going to need that red pretty badly to press the aggression forwards even more, to bring those 4 frags that he needs to the table. And at the moment, Ash is going to just work those good positions. He's staying, high, staying around corners, but it's hard to evade rails like that.
Yeah, certainly, but so far, he's getting away with it. 1 minute now remaining. 4 frags, 20 seconds again. Eliminated from that time for spawn delay. That is a fantastic rocket yet again by Ash. Steals away the yellow armor. This is going to be caught out on the bounce pad. That is going to seal the deal here on map number 1. There is absolutely no way now Cypher can find his way back in. So Ash taking a 1-map advantage here in the best of 5 grand final. $75 separate the first 2 places, and right now Ash in contention to take the best of 5. But again, so many more maps to play, almost irrelevant at this point. But it's going to do well for his confidence, DDK.
It really will. I mean, he needs this momentum. Momentum is a hugely important thing, especially when you're playing players that you feel in the back of your mind are better than you. And of course, if you play against Cypher, of course you're going to be like, this guy's the better player. Then what happens? Oh, what a nice rail from Ash to finish off this map. But yeah, I mean, you and me thinking, okay, it's Cypher. Of course he's the better player. And then when that happens, it's like there's more pressure, because you're like, oh my god, but what if I beat Cypher? And I mean, everyone's played, well, a lot of people have had this, I've had this as well in the past when I was competing against people who are like a lot better than me, like, Cooler or whatever. You're like, oh my god, I'm beating Cooler, I'm winning, I have like an 8 frag advantage, I'm going to win the map if I just play it right. All this kind of, these factors come in, and, that's why you have to play a lot. That's why you have to play a lot of competitions, because you need to get used to those situations, you need to get used to the pressure that's there. And Ash, so far he's showing that he's not shaking at all, really, and he's looking pretty stable right now, but he's going to need a good start on Sinister.
Yeah, and in typical fashion, my Quake has crashed yet again. I have no idea it's so weird. I've never had this problem before with Quake constantly crashing. You said you had the same thing. It must just be.
I thought it was maybe OBS when I was doing it.
I'm on
XSplit, right?
2.0, yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just I don't know, something to do with the engine. I have no idea.
Well, let's try and get back in, shall we? And once I do that, let me see if I can.
That was like the most generic thing I could have said. I don't know anything about what I'm saying. I'm starting to feel really drowsy though. These drugs are working.
That's a good thing and a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I'm feeling a lot better, but I'm also feeling really sleepy right now.
Yeah. Oh,
but we got this. We got this.
Right, I'll be back
Cypher
in
and
a
Ash.
sec.
Should I keep talking? Are you restarting the stream? Or?
Yeah, I'm just coming back into the game now. Just keep going for a sec.
Yeah, well, this one will be really interesting, because Sinister is a map where momentum can be pretty important. We actually saw this quite a few times in the past. This is actually one of the ways that Cypher was toppled by Madball. Actually, Madball got like a really sick start with lots of rails connected, and if you can do that, I mean, it's the same on any map. I mean, if you get the kind of perfect start, it can be brutal. I mean, we see what happens to players who know how to play this map in control and who have solid execution. If you get that perfect cycle right at the start of the game, it's so hard to break. Even if you're Cypher, it's very difficult to break. When we see Evil get those spots, you can just say like he's going to win the game. It's just so unlikely that he's going to lose the game from that point. So definitely, if Ash can get a strong start here, he's going to be looking good for sure. And then we're going to have to move into Blood Run, I believe it was. So Cypher, definitely still a big favorite for this tournament, but I feel like Ash has got some good chances on Sinister, and I really feel like this is a must-win for Ash as well. And it looks like the players are getting ready to go. Cypher and Ash here for map number 2, and Ash with a one map advantage.
Yeah, looking strong as well. Cypher gets the red, gets the LG. He could charge through here. Ash has no choice but to just run at this point. But he did get the mega and he did get the upper yellow and the railgun. So actually not worked out too bad for him so far. But Cypher is going to be one that's going to be pushing control here for the red armor. Surely no, Ash waiting with that trap. Not able to find the rockets though. The LG, so much damage coming out, comes back through the teleporter. But Ash able to find the frag. Wow. And maybe again off the spawn, I have no idea. No, it's like, what? Okay. Such an interesting start yet again.
Yeah, and then you get big plays coming in from Cypher. He hit all those rails. He has 100% there. He's actually just hitting everything. He just, okay, as I said, he missed that one rail, but he has the stack. He just goes for it. Beautiful rockets, and this is what confidence does for you. Big risks there from Cypher, but if you're feeling the confidence, you're gonna be taking those risks, and they will go your way. If your gut is telling you to do that, and your name is Cypher, then it's probably gonna work out for you. And we see the 2-1 now, and he's really stacked. And again, this is so early into the map that we're going to see the mega taken, and then he'll be able to swiftly make his way over to the red armor if he wants to. But look at this, he's actually baiting out, like there with the fake jump to try to bait out Ash. And you know, Cypher had the exact read on his position as well, so Cypher's on point right at the beginning of this game. It looks terrible for Ash.
Yeah, but like I say, it's just the beginning of the game, so we'll see. Ash just trying to find the cheeky railgun. Will Cypher come pushing through? Again, Ash ready and waiting with those rockets. They really have been on point today. Kept him in so many situations, got him so many frags. You would say won the game against Pavel as well. When they do it against Cypher here, we'll see. Another fantastic rocket. Ash drops down. The lightning gun though is phenomenal from Cypher. So much damage output. I don't know what Ash went down to there, but it must have been low. The 50 HP hopefully was up for him. It's, I mean, it looks so great for Ash, but then that LG. And again, LG, but Ash is still, Ash is confident with his rockets today.
Yeah, it really is. And Cypher's looking weak now all of a sudden, and ooh, that was pretty darn close. And Cypher gets out of there by the skin of his teeth. And there you go, boom, great pixel rail coming in from Ash. And Ash is not looking deterred at all by the really sick start that Cypher had. And both of these players like fall into like sick execution, like as you're saying, like the cocky rails coming out, like really confidence plays we're seeing from these two players at the moment. And here goes Ash again pushing in onto that red. He's going to be able to pick that one up 3-2 now, so he's really bringing this back, and he's got a nice separation on the items here, and it's looking like we're going to see, well, we'll have to see basically Cypher do something crazy again if he's going to break this in the next couple minutes. But Ash is actually setting himself up now to make some frags happen, and Cypher makes, you know, that play. I talked about this before, like one of the ways to get back in, and Cypher just tried to go for it there, and there was no fight before or anything fancy. He just tried to drop in on the mega, and I don't know about that, but now Ash is, oh my god, again a perfect engage. This is bad for Cypher.
His rockets are insane. Air rocket to the gonads. Another one there with his pants down. Just like Ash is on form and then some today. In comes the lightning gun. I mean, that's the second time Cypher's been caught out with the railgun. Once at the red there, again by the 50 HP. Ash is just, he's a monster at the moment. I guess so. And he's just able to run the map so well.
He's really got the confidence. I mean, a lot of these shots and plays that he's making, it's all about having that, you know, you have the execution, but it's about having the confidence to just never question yourself. Just take those shots, make those moves, and open up those opportunities without any doubt. And that's what we're seeing from Ash right now. He's 5 frags ahead. There's still plenty of time here for Cypher though, and you can make a lot of frags in this map. It can be difficult to do, but their potential is always there. And with this much time left, and Ash is just going to try to catch Cypher on the double back, and Cypher playing it really well there, predicting how Ash is going to respond, and managed to win himself a yellow without taking damage. So Cypher's doing the little things well at the moment.
It's really strange watching Cypher, because you watch some of the railguns he's hitting, the lightning gun he's hitting, he's hitting his shots. His changing equipment doesn't really seem to have phased him, but just Ash is all over him in some of these exchanges. A very defensive Cypher I think we've seen recently, especially his game against Evil, here against Ash. Oh, fantastic air rocket. Fortunately, I mean, that's gifted him the red. That was a fortunate turn of events, I think. But can he make it work for him? We're approaching the halfway mark, 5 minutes. Mega's just gone to Ash.
Ash is trying to catch Cypher out now near this yellow, and there it is. It does get the catch on the drop. He knew that Cypher wanted that LG, and that is what the weapon is, you know, knowing the weapons of your opponent, that's what it really gives you, is moments like that to get damage. And you know, Cypher had to sacrifice positioning to put himself in a weak spot just so he can pick up that LG, and now because of that, Ash is able to take in a Mega without any problems, and he's going to be able to go for the hunt too, because there's enough time before the red to do something like that. And there you go. Ash is just going to play it, you know, standard slow, keeping himself, you know, well and truly in control of what's happening. And this is just looking more and more difficult for Cypher to break.
I mean, Cypher did get a time on the Mega Health, but that railgun has done everything to force him away from it. There's no way Cypher's going to be able to challenge for it. And he's going to have such a tough time just backing away from Ash here if he comes in aggressive. Fantastic rockets, but again, just the stack comes out into play. But down at 28 points of health, and maybe that's what Cypher wanted. We'll see. Will he come charging through? Looks like he wants to. The rocket's great. The railgun as well. One more would find the frag. Narrowly misses. And Cypher's going to be able to back away. He'll be able to get the red armor now. And his health's at 100. Oh, wow. And there comes
wow,
the frag.
indeed. It's just, I mean, I just had to jinx Ash, didn't I? This is looking hard to break, and then boom, Cypher, you know, puts himself in the game with all these pickups, and Ash, you know, running for his life at the moment. Beautiful LG, you know, as easy as can be, and Cypher in a position to just blast away at Ash once again with that LG. And Ash, I mean, I think we saw Cypher doing that exact move previously. You know, no real plan behind it, but just going for that play on the Mega. And he doesn't have that much of a buffer to work with, and it's already down to a 2-frag situation, and make that 1 frag, because this will be another kill. And there it is, 50. The teleporter will not save Ash, and Cypher now looking in dominant control of this game as never before. And if the next couple minutes should just be unchallengeable control from Cypher.
Yeah, but then it could just come down to those ridiculous rockets. But as I say that, the nice little 180 railgun ends out. And, oh, I mean, what Vivash has got to work with, looking at him, 35 to 50. This is going to be a frag, a good rocket, but again, just it doesn't mean anything, does it, when you've got the stack that Cypher has. Red's up, just trying to maybe listen for the spawn here. Cypher expecting Ash to think that he's at red armor. Brilliant stuff, and there's the lead to be taken. 8 to 7, plenty of time to get to red. May even look to go and deny the upper yellow, where Ash might be moving to. No, Ash is either by the teleport exit or entrance, or he's at the lower. And it was actually at the lower, sealing away the Mega. But he doesn't have much armor. That yellow is still up.
Yeah, not much armor at all, and wow, Cypher. That fight was just so well executed from him. You can see the way that he planned. He basically dodged in a way that if Ash wanted to continue hitting him, he would have to move into a certain spot, and Cypher planned for that and put the rocket there in that spot, like predicting what would happen way ahead of time. So very well thought out fights coming in from Cypher to make the difference. And Ash with this challenge here, he might get fortunate if he gets a couple of hits, but he misses his shots, and that was a good opportunity because Cypher had no LG ammo. That LG is great there because it's consistent damage. You know, no matter what, there is going to be damage put onto your opponent and pressure whilst he's raiding you. But you know, really missing out was Ash there on the rails, and now because of that, Cypher can just run onto him.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing Ash can do at this point. Look at the distance. There comes the LG again. I'm right in saying this. Is there LG ammo boxes on this, or is it just the weapon in the water? I think it's just the weapon, right?
A good question. I'm sure there has to be an ammo box for it somewhere, but
it might be by railgun. I don't know. Just behind those grates. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe the chat can tell us. I've got it open to the side of me. I haven't played this map well enough.
Yeah, there's actually not a huge amount of ammunition on this map. I mean, I remember once me and Inzo put out because we forgot that there was a plasma gun on this map, which there is, but we're seeing another fight over the red, and it's going to be Cypher that just barrels down Ash and wins that one. So again, he's locking it down right now. There's 30 seconds left, or 20 seconds left now, and there is LG ammo by the plasma gun, in fact. So there you go. But it's going to be Cypher to tie this up 1-1 now with a very good performance on Sinister. Very dynamic, chaotic opening to this map, but it's turns out that Cypher's going to take it down, and we're going to move on to a more slow map, Blood Run, Cypher's choice.
Well, 37% Lightning Gun, 51% Railgun. If anyone had any doubts that Cypher couldn't aim with his new equipment, if he's even using it, who really knows? Well, they should be thwarted now. He's definitely hitting his shots. That's going to, like I say, tie up 1-1 as we move on to our third map. So, could this go all the way to best of 5, DDK?
Oh yeah, it certainly could. I mean, Blood Run is, again, it's a map where, you know, Cypher's he's amazing, but he's not infallible, and especially online. And we've seen many situations where, you know, Blood Run, if two players are playing it, let's say Ash has, you know, the very high level execution on average that you expect him to have. He gets a good start, makes the right choices, and Cypher, you know, takes some risks, because you have to take risks in this game. Like everything, even if you're in control, everything is a risk, because you can't be ever 100% certain on all the data that's in front of you, and almost nothing is gonna, and no fight you take is gonna be without some kind of risk. But on the risk that Cypher takes, you know, to get back in the game, if Ash does get a good start, if they just, you know, go a little bit wrong, or, you know, Ash hits that one good rocket, that, you know, a couple you know, situations like that will just be a victory for him. So for Ash, if he plays really solid and plays as good as he's been playing so far. But and actually, by the way, that's what how we saw Noctis defeat Cypher. Actually, it was a very hard game, and Noctis was unable to frag Cypher for like 4 minutes or something, 4 or 5 minutes, because Cypher was just running around collecting everything and coming back in, always surviving with like 20 health. But Noctis had the experience to know never to overextend himself, and just have the patience. And eventually, he got the kill that he needed, and Cypher made a wrong choice, and boom, he had the game. And so hopefully for Ash, he can achieve something similar. But these guys, they're both pretty crazy, so, you know, I have no idea.
Well, looks like Cypher's internet didn't go out. He didn't have the phone call. We're having him join the server now, so hopefully we can kick things off sooner rather than later, as he gets back in. And his entire name has changed. Oh, there we go. He's renamed now. Sorted. Phew, I thought he was, yeah. Got to have the right names and the right capital letters in the right places, and the single coloured E. So,
yeah, can't do without that.
Yeah, interesting choice of capital letters: the Y and the R.
Indeed.
I think Garby has a capital G, capital R, capital Y. Vor has everything lowercase. Distributor has a capital D.
Alternating is like so 2000. Like.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
What was your first ever? If you always use DDK, what was your first ever game name?
I don't want to tell anyone.
Really?
Well, no, but I don't want to tell anyone.
Okay.
I don't think that, you know, 11-year-old me made good choices.
I think I'm with you on that. We'll agree not to say anything then. But anyway, here we go. Map number 3. It is no, we're not, because Ash has rejoined the game. So we'll delay the start for just a second, and hopefully kick it off in a minute. But maybe people in the chat can let us know what their first ever gamer names were. Were they embarrassing enough to tell us on it? But again, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you check out esradical.com for everything Quake. Check out the Quake Live subreddit as well, reddit.com/r/Quake Live. And of course, if you want to play Quake Live, you can on FACEIT every Sunday and throughout the week at FACEIT.com. It's yeah.
Indeed, if I don't think I'm gonna fall asleep, but I'm feeling really drowsy now for some reason. But these guys,
hold on, DDK.
It's pretty funny actually, but I'm still here, so it's all good. So hopefully they can provide an adrenaline fueled match for me to get kick-started here. But I don't know. I feel like this, between these two guys, this could be one of the most interesting matches. You know, you always say it's if not your favorite, it is one of your favorites to see.
Yeah. And
I'm hoping we get a similar match that, you know, to the Noctis one that we saw with Cypher, because that was, for me, those ones on Blood Run are really, really awesome, because you can see that it really comes down to like a couple, like 2 or 3 moments. You know, like the the evil Cypher grand final match on Lost World, which was like 1 billion overtimes. I really love. I mean, everyone really likes watching those games because it just you can see that both players respect each other so much. It comes down to the smallest mistake, the smallest error, and then one of the players explodes to like capitalize on it, and that's always really exciting to see. And you get the long build-ups and stuff like that. Maybe it's not as exciting in the way that a Toxicity or a Airwalk or something can be exciting, but it's a different kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah, I think it's like when I play TDM. I like playing, let's say, Hidden Fortress because it's a lot of aim-based kind of exchanges, just full-on cess. Or it used to be. Nowadays, it's a bit more controlled and organized. But and then you got Grim Dungeons, which I kind of relate to the Lost World or the Blood Run, where you see TDM unfold. You can you see the action happening, and when it does, it really does start to build up. But between that, it can be quite slow and structured and coordinated. Of course, you do get the teams on DM14 Grim Dungeons that will just like constantly cessing, but there are periods where you have to hold out and hold your sides of the map much more evidently than on certain other ones, like Hidden Fortress maybe. But yeah. Hopefully these guys will be ready to go. Let's have a look what they're saying. Again, I don't speak that language, unfortunately, so I have no idea, but maybe someone in the stream knows and you can...
well, Ash said, he said, "Sec, please, telephone," but then he's just having conversation in text with Cypher. He's just spamming go at him, so like, I have no idea. I mean, there's a lot of Russian in there from Ash, but then one of the sentences was "I go," and then Cypher said "go, go." And then lots more Russian, then Cypher says go. So I don't know, I'm struggling to see what Ash is up to at the moment.
Oh dear, but I've just seen Sinker in the chat. He has put a 7-day pro token in. So again, just if you're not in the chat, make sure you're in the chat, get involved, and also have Quake Live open because you get us redeem some keys if you want to try Premium or Pro. I think with Premium you get access to join servers like the Premium map pool and so on and so forth, and you get the extra scoreboards and stuff that give you additional information. And with Pro, you get the ability to launch servers with your friends and stuff, which I guess is cool, especially for events like this. If you play FACEIT, it's much easier than trying to join someone else's server if you can just launch your own and not have to worry. So could be worth investing in if you're considering playing Quake Live. For me, I've just got Premium since I don't play a lot these days, so I don't really need to launch servers, but Premium seems enough for me.
You know, QuakeCon's not far away now. It's like July.
Yeah, it's quite close, isn't it? I don't know if you. I guess if even if you know you probably can't say, but are you going over there to cast it?
I don't know anything for certain. I just know that the event is like they announced the dates of the event, and I hope. I mean, this time we'll see Cypher there because last year we didn't. Like he was the defending champ, but he wasn't able to defend his title. It's like I don't know if anyone watches Vikings, but it reminded me of the Viking series. There was a similar moment, but not being able to defend something whilst you're doing something. Anyway, Cypher and Ash, they're getting underway here. If it's Blood Run, now we could see a very passive start if we get the even beginnings for these two guys. But it's gonna be Cypher. He's got everything he really needs at the moment, but he's not got the rail or the LG. And you can see what problems that really is or makes for him, because LG removed all of his armor there, and that gives Ash the run of the map. And Ash is now in a really strong spot. Like the classic thing to do now is to set up for the next red. So a lot of times 7 seconds between the next red and the mega. So Ash, he should be able to take both here, and Cypher plays really well delay wise.
Yeah, and typical Cypher, you have absolutely no idea where he is. He just come in to try and take the mega health, but Ash, as per Ash fashion, has the timing to the millisecond, which is, I think, a feat not many players always utilise. I mean, it is the first mega, it is the first yellow armor. It's easy to do, but for some people, they just rely timing on feeling. And it's not always enough, but there comes the 2-0. And again, Cypher goes behind early on in the map.
Yeah, I think the problem there for Cypher was that, like, if you're in that position to do what he wanted to do, which was to like see if you can steal away the mega, timing wise, you really want to have the position where you're able to push through like near the armor shards. You can see up to what's happening at red, because that way at least you have a bearing of what's happening. But if you're where he was, you're playing in the dark, and if the guy takes the red, he can just charge in so fast, and you can't stop him. You're gonna die, and that's what really happened there. I mean, he just got taken out, and look again, he just gets caught out. He's looking at the red. Ash, what he did was just predicted one possible eventuality of Cypher, trying to get a time or pressure or something, and boom, he gets a frag out of it. And we're seeing 3 to -1, and that is a huge scoreline on this map. That's a huge scoreline for Ash against Cypher. So this is, you know, really bodes very well for him. And if he just keeps controlling him, keeps playing passively, and as he's doing, he should just win this game.
Yeah, definitely. And I gotta say, Cypher's turning into quite the -1 hero these days at the moment. He seems to spend a lot of the game battling himself at the beginning, and I'm sure he'll find his way back in. But in fact, we'll switch over to Cypher for a little bit and just see how he's working this, because 126 to 50, so unlucky. The rockets are great. It's only a matter of time though, unfortunately, but he did deal a significant amount of damage, to be fair. But very quickly brought back up. Cypher comes out aggressively again. Ash to find it. Again, just hoovering up the HP bubbles after the fight. And now, at least, there's not going to be much to pick up if Cypher was to do the same thing again. But to be honest, with a 5 to -1 deficit, he doesn't really want to give up another frag at this point.
So this is, like, Cypher has 2 choices here. He either plays really defensively now, slows the game down because he has the time to do it, 7 minutes, or he goes crazy and keeps attacking and probably just dies again and again, and then he forfeits. I'm predicting that's what's going to happen, because I mean, even if he gets a kill, then I mean, look at the position of Ash. He's got such a huge buffer of frags. He knows how to play defensively on this map. How is Cypher gonna challenge that? I don't know how it's gonna work for him. And he is choosing to go aggressive, and that shows a, you know, in some part, tiny bit of a lack of respect for your opponent's skill to hold off your aggression, and it shows a lack of patience and a little bit of frustration in there as well.
Maybe? Yeah.
Oh, so that's surprising.
But, I mean, it's still not unrecoverable. The amount of ridiculous spawns we've seen go in favour of players like Evo, and even earlier on, for Pavel playing Blood Run when he took this map away from Ash. And that's what you got to remember. Pavel did beat Ash on this map. But again, those two players play against each other all the time. These two, regularly before the Grand Finals.
Yeah, this is behaviour we've seen from Evil sometimes before. Whilst a lot of plasma connected there, but still not enough to kill Ash. Ash just survives everything right now, and it's like a cockroach. No matter how much you stamp on him, he just will not die. Just keeps coming back, and Cypher finally will get a frag on him, and 8-0, and he's weak though, and he's got no weapons, and he's gonna die to the M2. He just will.
He's actually gonna die here. Oh man. And the smiley, they're the worst, when you bring the smiley out after you get a kill that you know is cheeky. Everyone has one. Cooler has his famous smiley. Ash clearly has one of his own, which is a very long smiley. I don't know what Cypher's is, but there's 11-0 now.
It's just, I'm just without words for what Cypher's been doing. I mean, none of it really makes much sense, and Ash is basically being given a map.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Ash did catch out Cypher in some really unfortunate situations, teleport exit, and guess right earlier on as well, I think in the third frag, the upper, well, this room here basically, in the corridor, but yeah, I mean, Cypher has been going relentlessly aggressive. 4 minutes,
Indeed.
30 seconds remaining. And of course the next map after this is going to be Toxicity, which is Ash's map pick. This is Cypher's.
Definitely. So yeah, Cypher, I don't know. I mean, I'm surprised that we didn't see a forfeit or something as well, because I mean, does he expect that he can win from this, or why was he, was he frustrated? What was the reason for all this? I'm not sure, NBC. But the only way to come back from this is more aggression, because he has to get back a significant deficit. There's no time to wait, and there is the forfeit. And I'm gonna quickly go to the bathroom because I'm sick, so I get special privileges.
Okay. Tell the players to hold on because my game crashed.
All right, I'll tell them to hold on.
I don't know.
So I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Okay. Well, once I get back into the game, guys in the chat, if you have any questions or comments, how do you think Cypher's form at the moment? Do you think he's into it? Do you think Ash is just playing phenomenally? What are you guys thinking as I try to get back into the game? Select private. I don't even know. Maybe we've got the link here somewhere. Yeah, here we go. I don't even know. It's new. Join. For a final. But yeah, I want to apologise while we're getting going for the tech issues we did have. I have no idea why Quake's bugging out, why follow killer isn't saved. I'm going to have to type follow killer when we get in here as well. Follow killer 1. We can get him back in.
So I'm here. So this is just one of those situations where, you know, Cypher, he still wants to win. I mean, it was just one of those frustrating starts for him, I guess, and he let it get the better of him. And you know, I don't know if he has really, if you can really consider him to be an emotional player necessarily, but what we saw definitely was his focus getting broken, because whatever it was, whether it was from, you know, something outside of the game, whether it was something inside of the game, his focus was broken and he didn't make the correct decisions and the correct calls, and he knows how to play. So we're going to have to see him bring this back now, because this is match point for Ash. He's got 2 maps under his belt, and it would just be such a huge loss for Cypher to lose the grand finals.
Yeah, it really would. I'm just going to quickly check what's going on. Okay, the stream still looks okay, because yeah, we have now approached the time where Virgin Media like to cap my internet, but we've adjusted the value, so I can still stream. I just got about 100 ping, which kind of sucks, but hopefully it's going to be okay for you guys at home. So here we go, kick things off. It is map number 4. 2-1 advantage at the moment here for Ash in the best of 5 grand final for the Spring Cup number 2. Cypher absolutely has to take this map, no question, if he wants to get those all-important FACEIT points and $100 as well. Let's grade that from 25. The second place winner will be taking home. So we'll see. Watching Ash at the moment, 160 to 47. Got Rocket, LG, and Railgun. We got Red Armor coming up soon. Don't think Ash is really going to go down to the death bit. Might try and surprise Cypher with a Railgun, perhaps. We'll see. And actually, Cypher's waiting for Ash as well. So both players expecting the same, it seems.
Yeah, and Cypher going to fight his way out of the red area. Very poor position. He's got to try. I mean, he knows he's going to die there. It's just about dealing as much damage as possible. Very lackluster, you know. And I'm sure this debate will come in about, you know, Cypher's new setup and so on and so forth. But right now, you know, we're in the match, and he's in a position where he's got to keep the pressure on Ash. He's got to get some damage somehow. Ash is going to go through this telly, and there you go, perfect from Cypher. Ooh, wow, the rockets from Cypher, actually amazing. And he even gets the kill. That has surely got to be a movie frag right there. Beautiful combination coming in from Cypher, who hits a great follow-up rail as well. So he's doing everything he needs to do, making the miracles happen, and bringing himself right on in the game again.
And the spawn rocket as well. The mega health is a gift, and there they go. That's the beautiful thing about hitting something off the spawn. It's just one railgun away, and on this map, they're so easy to hit. And this is like a completely different Cypher in terms of accuracy hit coming on to this after watching a very lackluster third map. But again, it's early stages, and this is Toxicity. It's completely different, and Ash is more than capable of doing exactly what Cypher's doing to him right now. Which the question is, can he get control? Because right now, Cypher has so much health and armor that it's going to be so difficult for him to get out of an exchange well. The rockets in this position are going to be awkward as well. This should be 3 LG damage and a frag, 5 to 1. And again, didn't deal enough damage, so coming off the spawn is going to be tough. Red armor up.
Yep, and honestly, Cypher is just doing way too much damage at the moment, and Ash, Ash was in a similar position, but Cypher, you know, hit ridiculous rockets and connected a rail at the end as well to get the kill. And if Ash can't pull something like that together, he's not going to get a frag on Cypher, and he needs to wear Cypher down. He needs to keep putting in the pressure in the right spots. It's very hard to do. We've seen, you know, how it goes if you misinterpret like where you need to put those plays. And right now, Cypher is just battering Ash, and even though Ash does away that LG, unless he hits a good rocket here, it's just all for naught.
Do you think Cinco is just in the chat, just typing like spawn codes to get Ash just to spawn in front of him? Some of these rockets off the spawn are just directly in front of him by the teleport exit, are just going Cypher's way, and there's a nice railgun as well. Here comes the look for the spawn by Yellow. Not going to be there, narrowly missing the railgun on toward the middle, but an 8 frag lead now at the moment Cypher has, and finally Ash is starting to connect. But again, look, between the rail shots, there's just so much opportunity to hit the LG damage, and narrowly missing the rail again. The red armor is up. Cypher needs to hit railgun before that red's picked up setup if he wants to, well, not give Ash too much of an edge to work with. And an edge is what he's taken into full effect. Another railgun connected onto Cypher, but Cypher responding still.
A big moment for Ash to start doing something, getting more damage on the board, out executing Cypher, because he's finally got that he already had before that rail connected the edge on the stacks. Now he's a little bit behind, and Cypher playing the rockets perfectly. Look at how he did that, how he managed that situation. He knew that Ash would go for the peak, put the rockets in place, made himself like unassailable. There's no angle for him, and then when the rocket hit, out he comes for the fight, gets the kill, and that is efficiency 101 right there from Cypher. It's a masterclass of efficiency.
Yeah, he's so confident as well. It's like a different Cypher. But I mean, I say different Cypher. The aggression last map just screamed confidence, and it just didn't work out. And whether it was frustration or whatever, he was still going for the confident attacks. But this time on this map here on Toxicity, it's paying off. 14-1, and we're almost at the point where the comeback is going to be impossible. We always say it's much easier to build a score lead than it is to bring one back, particularly in the later stages. But in that respect, Toxicity is almost a different map set out from all the rest. Kind of like Hectic, where almost it makes no difference sometimes, the time difference. As Ash will get his second one on the board. Red armor to drop.
Yeah, and it's something that Cypher obviously he wants to play aggressively. So we saw that on Blood Run. I don't know whether it was 100% frustration or whether he just wants to play more offensive game because he wants to feel his setup more. Who knows what it is? Either way, Toxicity is such a sick map for him. I mean, again, he took down Rafa here at DreamHack. He's got the moves. He knows exactly how to play this map, and we're seeing him hitting his shots as well. And it's something that you just can't touch when he's on hitting his shots when he's on. You can't touch him here. And 18-2 is the score. And this is why people don't like Toxicity, is because even when because obviously like 18-3. Which is what it is now, is not really representative of the difference of skill between these two players. What it does show you, though, is the nature of the map and how momentum-based it is. And that's why people don't like this a lot of the time, because it can be anticlimactic in that sense.
Yeah, certainly. And what's also interesting, if I've got my notes correct, is that both players have won each other's maps so far, and this would again be the case in Toxicity. But again, that's if I've got my notes correct, which is always a touchy subject, but I'm pretty sure I have. And this is, maybe Ash can get another one here with the machine gun. Actually opts to switch out to the railgun. I'm pretty sure Cypher's low, yeah, just 4 machine gun bullets. The railgun will eventually find it. 19-5. Is this possible? 14 for a comeback? Certainly not if Cypher comes in aggressive though.
It's definitely possible on this map, but I mean, usually, you have the situation when one guy has like 5, 6, 7 frags on the other guy, and it's like, oh, he just has to do what the other guy did to him, because it's always possible at the same time to do that on this map. But it's Cypher and it's 18 frags now. It's pretty big ask, and it's starting to get worse and worse for him. And we'll probably see a forfeit coming in from Ash in the next couple minutes, as this is pretty done right here. Cypher hitting everything. 60% rail is pretty strong on this map.
Yeah, I think Ash is also just almost giving up a little bit. It's Toxicity again. Coming in aggressive, that's kind of what you do sometimes off the spawns. But at this point, I think he's just doing it for the sake of doing it. There's no way he's bringing this back. But, I mean, it's always the question is, do you just forfeit out and come play the next game, or you just put up with the punishment, try and get a few more frags, slow the game down if you can on Toxicity against Cypher, and just maybe feel a little bit more comfortable going into the next map. I don't know. Right now it maybe looks like that to be the case, as Ash just get another on the board, but against Cypher with the railguns, wow. Just wow.
I mean, for me, it's always going to be, I think it's a personal thing. Some players, they like to stay in the game. Some players, it's beneficial for them to stay in the game. And for me, it's better to just move on to something new.
Yeah, especially when you got this kind of score difference.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you be aggressive off the spawns. Where the hell did Cypher go there? That was really weird. You go aggressive off the spawns, because it's one, part of a strategy and stuff, but he's doing it for the sake of doing it. When you said that, like, that is, Ash moving into that mode where it's like, I've lost, and now it's just about, feeling my setup, playing with no pressure because I know that it's lost. I just try to move around and get some kills, aim a bit, and I forget. Because even though you're getting smashed, if you yourself have given up on it, then you're just playing some warm-up. Basically, you're playing. That's all you're doing. So it gives you some time to really think things through and have some more fun, if you will. But for some people, that's not the way they want to go.
Well, the next map and the final map is going to be Furious Heights, and we always say you can play that map pretty much however you want. So I mean, looking at the 2 playstyles we've seen today, is there anything you're expecting from Furious Heights between these 2 players? Like, how is it going to pan out, would you say?
I'll expect a very standard match between both of them. Nothing too crazy. My expectations are of a close game, actually. I mean, of course, I feel like Cypher's gonna win, but I don't think it's gonna be more than by a few frags, like 2 or 3. I think that Ash is very capable on that map, and as much as Cypher's been hitting now, we've got to remember that Cypher's very he's one of the best players when he's in the moment, and that's the thing. Like, you can't beat Cypher when he's really in the zone, and when he's in the zone, you can see it. It's like a transformation. It just transcends everything. It just becomes this fluid, like effortless game where everything he does, you can't even put like a value judgment on it and say this, statistically this is right or wrong or whatever. It's just whatever he does, it works. And so when he's in the zone, you gotta be careful. And maps like this are very good for that because there's so much momentum that you can generate on it, and if he hits the first few shots, he's more likely probably to hit the next couple shots, and then it just gets worse and worse for you. So I'm gonna see a much closer affair because I feel like he won't be able to have momentum for free on a map like Furious Heights. If Ash really wants to slow it down, he can do that, and that's going to be his prerogative. He'll have the freedom to do that. So. But if it does happen that Cypher gets in the zone on his new setup, then I really fear for Ash.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I mean, just to briefly touch on it while we get going, people are all raving these days about mechanical keyboards, but I don't think what people realise is that when you push the key down, there's a period of activating the key to then bottoming out the key, and then the key coming back up before it resets. And that period is like... it's larger than, say, the keyboard Cypher's using, or even a standard, say, laptop-style keyboard. So, like, mechanical keys for FPS games, I don't personally believe they're the best option. They're, like, the most comfortable to type on, but the difference you've got from actuating the key to it resetting, it can only hurt, like, double-tapping, dodging, and things like that. Like, the keyboard that he switched to, which is, I think, the Razer Deathstalker, which I don't know, because I think you can get Razer products from playing FACEIT, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
maybe that's,
if you win points.
Yeah, maybe that's an option. But I mean, I've tried one before, and they're really good for FPS games just because of the low travel time. But anyway, here we go, map number 5. It is the final map as I explode in volume. Cypher versus Ash here on Furious Heights. 2-2 at the moment. Both players taking each other's maps here on Furious Heights for the deciding matchup. Winner taking home $100. Second place taking home $25. Both, however, getting all those all-important needed FACEIT points for the season finale. We're watching Cypher at the moment. 170. Having a look at Ash, 97 to 119. We'll stick on Cypher.
Yeah, he's got good position here. He can do a lot of stuff with this. He catches Ash. So we see that quite a lot there. And oh god, Ash is in a very troubling situation here, but he does land about 30-40 damage there unreturned, and now it's getting worse and worse. Oh wow! Hitting a crazy shot there. I mean, that was so much damage to Cypher. He was playing that classic, the age-old position and damage over picking up the items. Ash was getting the item pickups, but he was responding really well to the pressure and hitting the shots. And this puts Cypher in a position now where he's got to play it slow, and he's got to keep things under control because he's got no weapons. He's going to have to fix that first, and then he's going to fix the armor situation. So, like, dealing damage to Ash is just completely meaningless at this point. So if he isn't going to play it slow, then Ash is going to get free frags.
Yeah, and Ash put a massive delay on that red armor. Cypher had absolutely no idea, but he is set up in a position to try and get the sound on it in this little corridor. The question is, will he peek around to try and hit a rocket? Is he going to dive through? Yes, he comes through, but he doesn't have a lot to work with. This is ballsy. Very, very cocky to do that without the weapon set, and he will manage to back away. The yellow armor to pick up for himself, but back foot at the moment here for Cypher, a trend that has been all too familiar for him recently. Whether he can turn it around is yet to be seen. We've got Mega Health coming up soon, and again, Cypher's not really going to be able to challenge for that. And in fact, he wouldn't even really be able to stick around and try and get a time on it. And this is just so tough.
It is, yeah. But he's one of the best guys at finding out the ways to, or rather the holes to find in the opponent's game, like the spaces you can move in that won't result in you getting hit by horrible bits of damage. So he's so far able to do that, and he's in a very good spot. He hears a step there, so he's going to know exactly where Ash is. He has a time on the red as well. So Cypher's got a lot of information to work with now. And again, his position is so good because look at that. He can push his opponent off there. And that, oh my god. What did we just see? That is insane. Oh my god.
I tell you, I say it every time, DK. Half of the battle is Cypher fighting himself. Half the battle is Cypher fighting himself. That's just, I mean, again, Ash delaying the red armor here, just trying to find out where Cypher is, doesn't want to give him the time. That's how much control he wants. And even leaving it up for so long to just make sure Cypher isn't anywhere to be seen. He's still up. There we go. Second time he's done that.
That is just, I'm still just like seeing that in my mind's eye, just that on repeat. That situation was so bad for Cypher. But again, this is what you really need focus for. Wow. And great prediction from Ash that he knew that Cypher was going to be there. He'd already set the shot up in his head before taking the firing motion with his finger, and Ash, he basically just has to play standard from this point, the 2-0. Cypher's going to try to get back in the game somehow. If Ash keeps the items going for himself and keeps the damage out like that, the output like that, sorry, then he's going to keep extending his lead unless Cypher does something really smart and predicts Ash really well. But if Cypher keeps making mistakes like that, and that's really like the mistake that he made, the way that he died there from a good position to a crushing death like he had at the Mega, that can play on your mind quite a lot.
I'm so impressed with the output of damage Ash is really able to deal. I think he's one of the most improved players in my eyes in terms of that. He's got the mental game down to a T, definitely. And I just feel like he can only get better. His aim still isn't where I think it can be as well. So anyway, 2-0 on the board at the moment. Ash still retaining full map control. There's still time called by Melba in the chat, of course. We have got 6 minutes left on the clock for Cypher to find his way back in. So let's switch on to him for a bit and see how he's doing. He's been in this lower corner twice now, and Ash has predicted it both times. So whether we'll see maybe Ash charge through to try and get a frag on Cypher then. We'll see as things unfold. But
yeah, and you're talking about the mind game and with Ash and how well developed it is. He's essentially kind of Cooler's little prodigy, little student here. Learned a lot from Cooler. Cooler kind of took him under his wing, and you can really see the results of that. Cooler a long time ago predicted that Ash is going to win a lot of Sunday Cups and do really, really well, and exactly that happened because Cooler's never wrong, and Ash now making his way through the telly towards this mid map, kind of this middle upper position, is in a great position to deal damage. He's going for the drop now, and Cypher has to defend here. He's got to hit really good rockets, and he's done a pretty good job. But that rail at the end, that really hurt. Had that not been hit, Cypher would have options, but unfortunately for him, he's going to have to keep going for the defensive retreat as his opponent Ash is just relentless, just pushing onto him constantly, and all because of that one rails hit.
Yeah, I was constantly in that reliable threshold. He had to go for the yellow Cypher. It's obviously put him in a sticky situation. Even the LG through the grate from Ash below connected to Cypher. I mean, Cypher was a little bit unlucky not to hit the air rocket. It was not gifted to him, but there was definitely a possibility he could have knocked him down. But regardless, still just a free frag deficit. Ash will take the Mega. The drop down comes in. This is going to be another one, 4-0. And at the moment, he's looking unstoppable. There comes the red off the bat, the yellow as well. Most of the health should be up on the map as well. So even if there is a good engagement from Cypher, Cypher's likely to die. And Ash, even if he drops below 100, is going to be able to pick up health.
Ash is in such a strong position. It's hard to see how Cypher can bring this back, and usually that's how it goes. And you see it happen. You're like, well, I didn't see that coming. And Cypher, he needs to bring out some miracle Miracle's right here. And again, he's got good positions, and he's getting some free damage, and hits the rail, gets the Mega Time, falls back onto the red. This is the way you do it. So, you know, Cypher getting a strong position, the item spawns working in the way in his favor, and he's able to get some breathing space. He's back in the game now, and the stack advantage is still with Ash, but one rail will actually even things up completely. Assuming that Cypher hits the rail, they're on even stacks right now. But the red is coming up, and Cypher, this is a massive risk to go for this, because he's outstacked, and you can't take fights when you're outstacked like that from that position. It just doesn't work, so he has to back away. And he even actually lost some stack going for it, kind of, before deciding not to, and now he's, again, just going to die, and the frustration is starting to really play a part, and this is looking terrible for Cypher now.
I don't think anyone... Oh, wow. Brilliant. So much plasma damage from Cypher. He's going to go down, but this could work... Oh, no. Still got armor to his name, Ash. And dive into red. It wouldn't be a possibility. But, I mean, even I didn't expect Ash to come charging through that specific doorway. Especially with Mega Health coming up so soon. Really, really smart play from Ash. And at the moment, he really is looking like a deserving winner of the cup. And the question is what...
I feel like the mistake was like before that for Cypher though, because I feel like when he dropped, of course we have hindsight and everything, but like, I was talking about it when it's happening, but when like him dropping there, he can never get that red armor. Like, it's just not going to happen. He should know how badly outstacked he is there, and he knows the exact time, but from that angle, he doesn't have a good angle to drop onto it. So there's so many ways he can get badly caught there or outfought by Ash. So instead he could have protected his stack and then just tried to control the good positions like he did before to get in a good spot before he you know, rocket jumped himself up to get LG pinned. You know, if he'd made the move like that, then Ash could never have attacked him in that way, and he would have been okay. But I don't know, that's the thing with frustration or lack of focus. You start to make, if you don't have the patience, you start to do desperate things, and he's in trouble again, you know, caught in a place where he cannot escape, and of course he does. It's looking like game for Ash.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say that he could have made that position work. Ash just hit like all the railguns. It's just, he's hitting so much. I keep coming back to it, but it's just, I don't know. I hope Ash can keep this form up. I don't know whether Cypher's playing his best game. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But I hope that the form we're seeing from Ash here today can be kept up. Particularly, I don't know whether he's going to QuakeCon. I don't know what the TDM team, Deliberate Murder, who Cooler also plays for, actually does in terms of financing players to events. But hopefully he can keep it up for a live event as well.
Yeah, definitely. He was, for me, the most exciting player missing from the DreamHack Winter 2013. And yeah, it's 100% deserved from Ash. He's a fantastic player, and he's really playing really solidly on this Furious Heights match. But I feel like Cypher is not playing to his full potential. And you can see the frustration in this game and the lack of patience coming in. But yeah, definitely to make it clear.
You see the moments of explosions, don't you, though, from Cypher, like Toxicity. Like when you point out when it happened, you see that change, the flick of the switch. You see that Cypher for a moment.
Indeed, it's a very fine line that Cypher walks, I think, a lot of the time, and maybe that's one of the reasons why we see him not do so well online, because the reason the line, let's say, is fine is because he's so good when it comes to playing this like really sick kind of sneaky aggressive kind of style with lots of pressure and crazy ambushes and traps. And the problem is that a lot of this stuff is pretty damn risky unless Cypher's on his game. And if a couple of those things goes wrong, then you're in a very bad position. You can get forced into desperate spots. And Evil has a similar problem sometimes, but he can usually get himself out of it because his overall he's usually just so solid. Like he's so solid mentally, is Evil. Evil is like so rarely ever shaken off of his game. His focus is just amazing.
Yeah. Definitely. But, I mean, that wraps it up for today. Ash taking home Sunday Cup number 4. Cypher taking second place. Both still well within the running for the season finale moving forward. But I'm ashamed not to see Noctis today. And, of course, Evil as well, I guess, since he could have been back playing today. So whatever reason he's not playing, I don't know. And, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So big congrats to Ash, who definitely is a really exciting player, and so happy to see him doing well. And I hope to keep seeing Cypher coming into these tournaments. And maybe when he's more used to his setup, MVC, we'll see.
Yeah, but the thing is that we don't know if he's actually using it, because in my experience playing in like pro gaming teams is that you're not always forced to use your mice. Like I don't know what the case of Tyen. I've never played with Tyen. Don't know anybody in Tyen apart from Cypher. Maybe he's using it. Maybe he's not. Who knows? He could still be on his wheel mouse optical. It's all like speculation until we see him at QuakeCon, isn't it? I guess. And I guess that's the great thing. We have QuakeCon coming up in July.
Yeah, it's earlier than it usually is, I think, and so I'm pretty excited about that, definitely. And thanks so much for doing the production.
Yeah, it wasn't without its problems, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it's the FACEIT community stream, so we can be let off a little bit, I suppose, can't we?
Yeah.
Why not?
Definitely. It was a blast anyway. I got to just relax, even though I'm a bit sick. It's been fun.
Well, hopefully you recover for next week. Where I'm told the surprise has been postponed, DDK.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody mentioned that.
This was the surprise. I'm taking over FACEIT, including CG Final
Yeah.
Killer being mandatory to type in at the beginning of every map.
MVC bought FACEIT.
Yeah, I bought it.
And,
I run it out of my bedroom now with my giraffe called Dave. That is my screen wipe.
Oh, that's pretty hot stuff right there. But yeah, so it is I guess still a secret, but there is something exciting coming, and you guys can definitely look forward to that. But hopefully we don't have to postpone it any longer. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But we'll leave it at that. You're likely to see a development or maybe an announcement in the next week or so. So yeah. Stay tuned for that.
In the meantime, there is more Quake Live coming up next week. It's not related to FACEIT, although you can play FACEIT throughout the week. There is the Eindhoven CTF event happening next weekend. I'm actually going to be at iSeries in the UK in Coventry from Friday to Sunday, but we're going to have a booth there with Team Dignitatis. I'm hopefully going to put up the Quake Live CTF. We've got a big 120Hz projector going there that we've been given from Optima. So my plan is to put the CTF stream, whoever's running it, on there for people to see. But I don't know, we'll see. It'd be kind of nice to show off, I think, Quake Live 120Hz projector. I've not had a chance to plan it yet either, so I'm told the input lag's quite low, so that could be fun. But we'll see. So that's going on. I think you can find information for that on esreality.com. And again, Quake Live subreddit and, of course, faceit.com to play Quake Live day in, day out. I think, there's 2v2 cups, 1v1. Is there any 4v4 DDK? I don't think there is there?
No TDM, yeah. I think it's just the CA and the CTF nightly cups going on.
Well, you can get involved in that if you like. And DDK, where can people find you?
You can just hit me up on Twitter. It's ddk_ if you want to follow me there. And in the description there's a link to my YouTube channel if you want to check out any of my YouTube content. And that's more or less it. Otherwise, just check out FACEIT TV, because that's where I am at every week.
Cool. And if you want to catch up with anything I do, my Twitter is justnvc, JUSTNVC, or my Twitch name is DignitatisNVC if you want to watch me stream CPM, NTF, and occasionally Quick Life Free For All, since that is all I can play anymore. Sad face. But yeah, cheers guys for tuning in. See you next Sunday on the main stream, I'm sure, with DDK at FACEIT TV. Thanks again, guys. Have a good evening, whatever you get up to, and thanks for watching Quake again. Catch you next time.
See you guys.